I know I'm human. And if you were all these things, then you just attack me right now. So some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to. But it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, then it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill it. And then it's won.
You son of a bitch, you moved the cemetery, but you left the bodies, didn't you? You son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why? Why?
For a girl like you to come into my life, I've been waiting for a girl like you, the love that will survive. I've been waiting for someone new to make me feel alive. Yeah, waiting for a girl like you to come into my life.
You bitch! You called me a bitch!
What's in the basket?
Open season!
How do we know she is alive?
Say, please stop it. There's no more time. You've got to. Please stop it. Stop it now. Turn it off. Turn it off. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop
centimeters on the figure of Cirrus, Doctor.
18. Very good. And the representation of Nefertiti, Professor.
12 centimeters.
Excellent. And the last measurement?
Let's see. Thor is 11.
What is that?
Earthquake! The North Wall is going.
Professor, are you injured?
No, I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right, guys, we're here for a very special crossover episode. I'm going to do my introduction first, and then we're going to follow the format of Hello, This is the Doom Show first. This is Richard Glenn Schmidt, who wrote a bunch of Giallo meltdown books, and he has a podcast. It's excellent. He's a very funny guy, covers all sorts of crazy, nonsensical movies, and we're here to talk about one of the most crazy, nonsensical movies of 1982, Time Walker. What's up, Richard?
Hello, thank you for having me on your show, man.
Thank you for having me on your show, man.
Ooh, we traded.
There we go.
So, folks, Dave and I talked about movies we should talk about, and since he's been on a frickin' 1982 tear, like he's tearing 1982 a new one, we picked Time Walker, or as I like to call it, Timmy Walker from 1982, or Time Parka. Time Mr. Parka? I don't know.
there is an alternate name, like Being from an Unknown World.
Yes,
I think it is that. I think it's called that.
The Being from Another Planet.
There we go.
Is what I got here, and there was a Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode 405 for all of you enthusiasts out there. I don't know how if I saw that one, I definitely didn't remember it, because when I saw this for the first time, I was definitely unique. No buried memories, no repressed memories.
This is actually the first time I've watched this movie.
Oh man.
I know. It's one of those weird ones where it wasn't on my radar. I was saving it.
And then you sent me the GIF.
I sent you the Patrick GIF. He's just like,
and I was like, uh-oh. Did I break you?
I might be having some serious burnout in 1982. I watched what was the movie I watched yesterday? The Caligula, the Untold Story, the Joe D'Amato one. And there was two versions of it. And at first there was an 2 hour and 1 minute version in Italian. And I was like, I'm going to do the long version. I started watching and I was like, I can't get through a Joe D'Amato, as much as I love a period piece of rape and torture, for 2 hours and 1 minute in Italian. I was like, flip it over to the 95-minute version. And I got through that. I muscled through that one.
Yep. I love Joe. I love him, but I have never been brave. After I saw the big Caligula movie from the 80s or from the 70s, I was good to go. It's good to go.
That's a great exploitation masterpiece, like actors getting suckered into being trash, and it's fucking awesome. It's a great John Steiner and his bald head looking crazy. Very memorable.
Jaw-dropping movie. Absolutely jaw-dropping. Just one moment after another, too. But, so the next thing that we do on this beautiful show is play the trailer or a TV spot, and here it is, the trailer and or TV spot for Tim Walker, Texas Ranger.
Space and time. Two dimensions we dream of conquering. But perhaps they have already been conquered. Not by man, but a form of intelligence far more evolved and far more powerful. A Time Walker. The Discovery.
They simply sealed him alive in a corner of Tut's tomb.
So, I perused the internet. I'm shuffling papers around like I'm an official. Look at this guy. I used fonts. So I used the internet to locate the Charter VHS tape cover. I did not buy said tape. I don't have that many tapes. But the tagline on the front is, "Nothing can stop him, not even time."
You know, that doesn't really fit. It doesn't really make it. This isn't really a time travel movie. It acts like it is, but if I fall asleep, I'm sorry, I'm going to go off on a time. If I fall asleep and somehow like wake up 200 years later, I didn't time travel.
You're taking a nap.
Yeah, he's hibernated.
On the backside, if you want to get naughty on this tape, it says, "For eons he traveled the galaxies. Now he is free." Usually I get scared about 2 paragraphs of a plot, but I'm going to read the plot from the back of the VHS tape. Deep within the tomb of the ancient Egyptian king Tutankhamun, a violent earthquake shatters a wall, revealing the coffin of Ankh-Venharis, or Noble Traveler. Ben Murphy's, that's in all caps. Professor Douglas McCadden ships the unopened coffin to the California Institute of Sciences, where X-rays reveal 5 diamond-like crystals hidden within the coffin. Technician Peter Sharp, Kevin Brophy, steals the crystals and repeats the massive X-ray dose to cover his theft, but he fails to notice that the powerful X-ray has revived an ancient green fungus. When the coffin is opened at a university press conference, the reporters uncover more than they bargained for. The mummy of Ankh-Venharis has disappeared. And soon after... I didn't do that well. And soon after, several strange murders occur. The Time Walker is alive again. And he is not from this planet.
They spoil everything.
So, they spoiled everything. Also, spoiler alert, too late for you guys at home.
Like, I was like watching other people talk about this thing, and they were like, "Yeah, there's a twist. Like, there's a twist." It's like, not according to this box. It tells you fucking everything. Yep. We cussed on your show, right?
Yes, of course. And even the poster is like, that's not a human.
It's just, what is that classic Twilight Zone where the guy, like, they have that big argument, like something on the street, and they're arguing, and they say, sometimes I've seen him standing outside staring at the moon or the stars waiting for somebody to come get him. That's what this mummy's doing on the case. He's just like,
I want to go home.
Or it could be like a middle-aged alcoholic man who got too drunk on Halloween and got locked out from his wife, and she's just standing out there like, or his mom. It depends. He could be living at home. He could be living a singles life in his mom's basement.
He's watching the pink elephants fly by. Full on alcohol induced dementia. Poor guy.
What's it that what he calls him in Royal Dano calls him in Ghoulies too? I got the heebies or heebies or whatever he calls it.
Oh my god. Oh, I love Ghoulies too.
Just drinking up his unemployment check.
Yes, Royal Dano, hungry. He looked hungry all the time.
My favorite.
So this is directed by Tom Kennedy. This was his only directing credit. You know, big shocker there. And in all caps, I wrote, he edited Silent Night, Bloody Night. Whoa. Whoa. I mean, if you can turn that into the miracle that it is, you're a talented pal.
Kind of a sleepy movie, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it when you're tired.
No. It's kind of like I can't sleep, or like you're 12 years old and you get up early for Christmas and you're like, gotta wait for your parents to get up. Not Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Go right back in.
Go back to sleep.
I remember crying when I was a kid, because one time when I was a kid, I couldn't fall asleep. So I was too excited about Christmas, and I'd been eating sugar all day. And I just laying in bed crying that Santa was going to skip our house because I couldn't sleep. It was the first of many sleepless nights.
I used to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then just watch like Simpsons episodes I had recorded off the television, like until like I wake up, and then wake everybody up at 6 o'clock, and they're just like, I hate you. I can't stand you anymore. I hate it here.
I was awake watching the Late Late Show, like prom night, when I was like 7 or 8, and like Tourist Trap around that age, because I was worried about getting picked on at school. So I was writing these jokes to like have cool comebacks to the bullies, and then I wouldn't be able to sleep. So I just turn on my little TV and watch slashers like Girls Night Out. Speaking of 1982.
Yes.
Baby.
This reminds me of the Costanza joke. That's what I should have said.
I would like to know the exact number of hours that I've lost while planning badass comebacks in conversations that never occurred anyway.
I just like argue with myself. I just look like a maniac. And you're like, who are you actually hypothetically arguing with? You're like, me? He's an asshole. I can't stand him.
I'm my own worst enemy. This had 3 writers, which is sort of, makes sense. The first one is Jason Williams, who's an actor, producer, and writer. That's called a quadruple threat. He wrote something called Vampire at Midnight, which I now have to see.
Code Red put that on DVD, didn't it?
I have no idea, but I want to find out.
Man.
And then he did something called Danger Zone with, oh my gosh, who was in Danger Zone?
Was there 3 of those? There was 3 of those.
Yeah, they made 3 Danger Zones.
I never saw it, but I remember the cover. I think I had one on VHS or something, like a crappy, like when they were like for $1, you're like, yes, I'll ruin my life a little bit with this.
Oh, he was in Danger Zone. This writer wrote himself a movie. And then on the poster, he makes himself look like somebody else. That's amazing.
We got some aftermath stuff going on here. 1982 aftermath, where like the director stars like making his pecs all look huge.
Well, bless him for trying. He also wrote something called Nude Bowling Party from 1995, which just wanted to mention.
What's she doing? Wait a second. My goodness, I don't know if this is a sanctioned move or not, but her shirt is coming off.
She's taking her shirt off.
She has taken her shirt off.
His writing buddies, Tom Friedman and Karen Levitt, didn't do a lot, but they helped him out with Danger Zone.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just a few members of the cast. I don't want to get too bogged down in this because this has a lot of characters, but we'll do our best here. First up is Ben Murphy. Wonderful Ben Murphy. He plays Professor Douglas McCadden, which I wrote down multiple versions of what I thought people were saying. McCadden, anything but McCadden.
That's not a real name.
I don't know why I couldn't hear it.
I'm not sure it's real. I've heard McFadden. I've never heard McCadden.
Maybe the McFadden family threatened to sue, so they had to dub it real quick.
Get Tom Kennedy on the phone. I have a couple words with him.
Hey, are you busy?
Hey, man, we're talking about Ty Walker. He's like,
oh, thank God. Tim Walker? I love that guy. But yeah, this guy, Ben Murphy, all over TV, lots of TV movies. I don't know what his big role would have been. I always go to Murder, She Wrote. He was absolutely on an episode of Murder, She Wrote. He looks like somebody who would have like 170 credits, but not quite. And yes, he's a naughty professor because, of course, he's having an affair with a student, which everybody knows about, I think. This is Nina Axelrod. I love that name. Amazing.
Good name.
She's tough because she's an Axelrod. Oh my God, Motel Hell.
Yeah, she's the main actress in that one, Motel Hell.
Are you serious?
I think she is. She's the one that falls in love with Rory Calhoun. She just likes older guys. Must be a thing.
God bless her. Yeah, you know what's so funny? I haven't seen freaking what do you call it? What we're just talking about, Motel Hell, in a really long time. I am a fan of that film.
It's a good one. I think that I actually prefer Rory Calhoun. Like, I would date Rory Calhoun before I date this professor.
You have taste. You have good taste. Next up, we've got Kevin Brophy, which he has bro in his name, and he plays a bro in this movie, which is amazing. He plays Peter Sharp, and I put in parentheses dull, because he's a dumbass.
He's a moron.
Oh no, he just passed away this year. That's so sad.
And a saint. Did I mention he was a saint as well in real life?
Really?
No, I just made that up because you said he was dead.
Oh well, he was a perfect person. He was in freaking Hell Night. I love him.
Doesn't he play the guy who runs the fraternity? Is that him?
Yeah, he was typecast.
Yeah, he's a dickhead in every movie he's ever. He's such an asshole.
Wow, but you know what? He was playing against his real personality.
Yeah, for sure, he's got the best, one of the best setups in 1981. Because 1981 is all horror setups, right?
Yeah.
They give the big speeches around the campfire, and he has the big story where he's like, and then the whole family was murdered, but they never found the bodies. And that's a nice little exposition, though. than Hell Night.
man.
Hell Night's a fun one.
It's a great movie. I love it. Next up, we've got a random actor named Robert Random, and he plays Jack Parker, the infamous Jack Parker, who's just accused of everything on this frickin' everything going wrong on this planet. He's no stranger to the danger zone, since he was in he played Reaper, aka Grim Reaper, in Danger Zone 2 and 3. I love how I've never heard of these movies until looking stuff up.
I think I have one of the VHSs. I want to go find
bet
it
you
in
do.
the closet. I have one of them. I don't know what it is. But that guy, it's so funny because they're like, Parker did it. No, nobody could be this strong. He's like, Parker's strong. It's like,
Yeah, he could-
quit trying to blame my namesake here.
He could crush every bone in my body, right?
You could do it. He looks really weird too. Like he doesn't look like he'd have the position he has. He looks more like head of maintenance that shouldn't but he's like some professor, isn't he? I'm like, I don't know. It's just
He looks like another actor I can't think of.
He
It sort of looks
definitely
like, oh, you know what? Who was the guy from Wheels on Meals? Did you ever see that one?
is that the Hong Kong one, right?
Yeah. Who was that actor? Plays
Actually,
such
never
a
seen that one.
dick. Oh, dude, do yourself a favor. You will love it. It is
I love
so
Sammo
charming.
Hung. Hong's my favorite. I love him.
Benny Urquidez. I believe that's how you
he-
say that. He reminds me of him a little bit.
He's
Yeah.
a martial artist. He did all stunt choreograph for all those movies. He's in everything.
God, he's
everything.
so good. Apparently, he's a real treat in real life.
Seems like a nice guy.
Oh yes. Also, he was in Vampire Midnight. This random actor, so we could find all these people. I'm gonna love it.
I'm catching some coincidences here. I don't know. It's kind of strange.
Could be. These are all incestuous casts here. James Karen is Dr. Wendell J. Rossmore. And oh my God, this guy. What a treasure. What an absolute treasure.
A god among men.
Yeah. Return of the Living Dead. Freaking Poltergeist. I totally forgot he was in Mulholland Drive.
Oh, he's great in that part.
Had to let my cat know to stop playing with the curtain. We cut it out. That is a privacy curtain.
They don't listen. They don't care.
No. Well, hopefully she'll make up for being bad by talking later and we get some cute, very real cat noises.
Who's my
212 credits?
He's great.
I mean, is he one of those people that had stuff come out after he died? I
I'm
would
sure
love
of
that. No, he didn't. He didn't work hard enough.
I know he's in this year. He's also in Poltergeist, one of his most memorable roles and one of his best roles. He's kind of a similar character.
Yeah. God, what a legend. So yes, he is the head of the university and the big, heavy, total asshole. Perfect casting. He's so good at that. Next up, we've got Austin Stoker, aka Mustache. He plays Dr. Ken Melrose. He is our voice of reason. And at some point in this episode, I would love to drop his entire speech where he talks about the structure of these molecules is just crazy.
His big call of fame would be Assault on Precinct 13. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, man. Dude, him and the one of the guys I'm going to talk about in a moment. But yeah, he's just so cool in this. Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I've definitely seen Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
He's also in a deleted scene and the alternate ending for Uninvited by Graydon Clark, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh,
I think
Caribbean Officer.
Is that who he plays in Uninvited?
Yep.
Another classic movie.
It's not Dr. Caribbean Officer?
Dr. Caribbean Officer.
The
It's Dr.
Uninvited.
Poisonous Cat.
Man, I'll never forget. I like, there's movies I remember every frame of, and I feel like Uninvited is one of those movies. I saw it on cable as a kid, and it just seared into my brain. It is so, I've never needed to rewatch it.
It's great.
I mean, Alex Cord and George Kennedy yelling at each other, perfect.
Plu Gulliger with fake teeth.
Okay, maybe I need to rewatch it.
No, literally everybody's yelling at each other because they're outside of a boat and the sound's bad. They're like, let's film on a yacht. You got sound equipment?
Quality.
Who needs sound equipment? We
It's
got the
called
ocean.
production value.
Graydon Clark's like, I spent all this money on this puppet.
Next up, we got Shari Belafonte, who I love. She plays Linda Flores, the entire campus's like promo department. Like she's doing all the work of like 3 departments. She's running the radio station. She's taking pictures for the school newspaper. She's like the hype man. I love her. She was in The Midnight Hour.
Yep.
Yes. Where's our Blu-ray?
I just bought a Blu-ray that was upscaled to AI.
Oh,
didn't do it justice. You know what I mean? Because I have a import DVD.
okay.
I have a burned DVD of the Anchor Bay one. So
Sure.
Let's
That's
just
what I
see how
got.
this looks. So it's not great, but I was also maybe I was a little high when I watched it on Halloween. So I was like, so you see that weird AI? I was just like, what the fuck? It's not enough that I don't usually get that high, but I was like, it's Halloween, why not?
It's Halloween. Halloween. I don't have a pot joke for that. I should have worked on that beforehand.
No, I was on crystal meth.
Oh,
No,
I'm sorry.
No. You just assumed my drug use?
I just assumed it was marijuana. I'm so sorry. So, Antoinette Bower plays Dr. Hayworth. She's another one of the voices of reason. She works at the hospital and she's trying to like save people's freaking lives. She is too cool. This lady, freaking prom night. Oh my God. Die Sister Die, which I don't know if I've seen or not.
Is that Roberta Finley?
I think so.
I think
Let
it
me
is one of the
click on
Finleys.
it.
Roberta or Michael, one of the Finleys were involved. I think Vinegar Syndrome put that on the double with Lurkers, maybe.
No, this is Randall Hood. I don't even know who this is. The Lurkers. It was Lurkers and what is that movie it's always paired with? Primeval.
Primeval. When did Die Sister Die? I swear I seen that on release somewhere.
Oh, it's Blood Sisters is Roberta Finlay.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Oh yeah,
That's
that has
Media
that-
Blaster's Shriek Show.
yeah, with the Joe Bob commentary that helps you get through the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember the movie being great.
Speaking of 82, she's in a movie that I think I might be one of the only people who was like, hey, that was pretty good. Frickin' Blood Song.
Oh, I watched Blood Song and I was like, right when it was done, I was like, I barely remembered it. I was like, it had the weird ESP killer thing, and
Yes.
yeah, it's not the worst. It's not bottom movie.
I was really taken with it. I really can't wait to watch it again. I mean, Richard Jekyll, he's in it.
I love
so I'm
Jekyll.
excited. Yeah,
He's an abusive father in that whole movie. He's like, listen here. He's just like, it didn't sit well with him being an abusive dad, because I feel like he's so like high energy, good, like, hey, sport dad kind of guy, that he's just like,
There you go.
abusive.
There you go. Last person, I swear, I'm just getting carried away. I just love this cast. Darwin Joston is a lieutenant plumber, a detective, which is a joke because he's not a plumber, but he was also in frickin' Assault on Precinct 13 and The Fog and Wild at Heart. Like, just, oh my God.
Who's he in The Fog?
He is Dr. Phibes.
Wonder where
I
they
love
got
it.
that name.
I don't remember that. I'm so
I don't
impressed.
remember it either.
I've only seen that movie 10 times. I never picked up on the Dr. Phibes reference.
Yeah, I definitely probably see that movie 5 or 6 times.
We need to watch it more. It should be a daily watch. Okay, so we're going to go and do some of the plot here. I will do my best to not totally blow this because, man, I got so into this story. I'm a fool for stupid shit. So for the credit sequence, I wrote space, the something, and now we're in Egypt. And where the production of this film, they spared no expense borrowing some photos from somebody's slideshow of Egypt. And then we have the tell or don't show or don't, it's supposed to be show don't tell, but they're not showing it either. So the screen's black and we hear them talking about this earthquake, right? That's going to reveal this tomb. Would you like to explain what is going on here?
I don't know. I just know that it's like every other Egyptian movie I've ever seen, stereotypical white professor, and then some guy I imagine is from that country that's like, what's going on? It opens up just like Manhattan Baby from the same year, which isn't actually a mummy movie, but it might as well be. But I don't know what happens. And then, of course, they're going to go in the tomb of like the biggest mummy of all time, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's got to be his tomb. And then they find this secret compartment with a different mummy in there.
I would love to know. I would just love to know when they finally stopped, like, pillaging every single piece of sand from that tomb. Like,
just going back for more. Like, yeah, I mean, like, buy, like, they're like selling them for a quarter, like a thing of sand.
Just make up one. Just make up another. Just you don't have. It doesn't have to be King Tut.
It could be King Tut. We could be like, we should spell Tut with a different way, with two T's, and then boom. It is King Tut.
When I was a young person, a 14-year-old person, I wanted to write a novel. So I wrote a novel, and it was going to be about a Punisher-like character, because I was reading The Punisher at the time, fighting a gangster family and falling in love with the daughter. And I asked my dad, what's an Italian name I can use? He goes, Pacino? And I said, thanks. So it was called The Pacino Problem.
I mean, alliteration's a good idea.
Yep.
Pacino, not so much.
Problem. The Pacino Maraschino. So when I finished the story, I finished it in science class instead of like paying attention to, my schooling.
Science
and I
is
finished.
Fake. It's not real.
This is a real story. And I finished. Oh, science is fake. Yes, I still believe that, except for chemtrails. And then, I'm kidding, folks. I'm kidding. I hate that stuff. I can't stand conspiracy stuff. Anyway,
me either.
I will quit a group. I would if I join like a server on Discord, and they have like horror and like classic horror and horror music and like, hey, Halloween costumes, whatever. And then they have conspiracy theory, and then like horror websites. I'm like, wait, what do you mean conspiracy theories? And in there is this deep dive in people talking about horror, like nothing to do with horror, just talking about the horrors of real life and wasting their lives on conspiracy theories.
I blocked the guy for the believing that hurricanes are created by a machine a couple weeks ago. I was like, I don't know you. I don't know you're my friends list, but I can't take this.
Look, I'm a Floridian. I'm a Floridian. I did what every Floridian does when a hurricane's coming. You run outside and you shoot at it.
It's a good idea.
Obviously,
that's how you stop the machine.
Milton is bulletproof. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I finished the story, 99 pages, handwritten, and I threw it in the garbage in my science class. I never tried to turn that into my big screenplay.
It's technically not a novel. It would be a novella. So you were lying to me.
When you're a child, small things are bigger.
For a kid, 99 pages? That's a lot for a kid.
I wish I'd kept any of my childhood writing, because man, it must have been really great.
Oh, I bet. It's the best.
So
I got a scholarship off the Pacino Problem. Parents wasting all that college money.
Yep. My mom's still waiting for me to sell out. Okay, so they bring this beautiful tomb. Oh wait, you're going to talk about the atmosphere. Yes, you're talking about the foreshadowing of the traveler.
Oh yeah, I did enjoy that. That was kind of cute before they like ruin everything on the back of the box. They're like, you're like, oh, they're like, they say the traveler, and you're like, huh. But they should have made it less direct of a translation. They're like, it means noble traveler. You're like, what's so noble about this fucking guy? He's a goddamn mummy covered in fucking crust. It's toxic. There's no noble about that. He doesn't say anything. Like, I mean, he doesn't like bestow wisdom on anyone.
What did what's his name?
Unky Mummy. Uncle
Onk. What has he done for me? What has he done?
Yeah, where's my diamond crystals? Where's my traveling diamond crystals?
I feel like I'm not profiting off of this archaeological adventure. So they take this beautiful tomb. They take the whole tomb back. No, they take just his coffin back, his sarcophagi.
Well, it's sarcophago when it's on the road.
Oh, his sarcophagus seagull back to the California Institute of wherever. It was so cute. And they open it up, and he has like matcha powder all over him. That was my joke about what the green stuff looks like.
It's tea, yeah, delicious.
Yeah, you get it. Or it's spirulina powder. You know, he's trying to stay healthy. And then they call in our pal Pete Sharp to X-ray.
Oh, this asshole! I hate this guy.
He's casually about to break this machine, bouncing it all over the ground, the sensitive X-ray equipment, and he's blaming everybody else but himself for it having problems.
He should run for office.
Ooh. I'd vote for Mr. Sharp.
I'd vote for the X-ray machine.
Yes, especially when it's set to kill. The X-ray machine has a freaking meter on it. It's way in the red, and the needle's all the way in the red, and he's blasting it, and he does a 3, 2, 1, fire, and it's real.
You hit
dumb.
this mummy with 10 times the radiation it should have. It's really a radioactive mummy. Now, does the mummy come to life from the radioactivity, or does the fucking fungi come to life from the radioactivity?
Yes and yes. I think it's yes on both of those. So the mummy does awaken after all of this fun, but not before our pal Sharp is going to discover these beautiful jewels hidden in a compartment and steal them. Which, oh boy, these jewels set off. I wrote that he's running the jewels. Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm hip. And when the mummy wakes up, it turns into Iron Tut mummy, because he's got the glowy chest thing.
Yeah.
That was not my joke. That was Lietta's joke. I wanted to steal it from her.
He's got a little thing like that. He definitely looks like a superhero. But the funny thing is, he's got to get his diamonds back. He's got to collect his Infinity Gauntlet.
His Infinity planchette, we'll call it. It's
There
beautiful. So this is when the body disappearing before the big, what do you call it, press conference is not great. But it's also not great that the radioactivity has caused this powder, this spirulina matcha powder, to turn into nasty fungus, which we immediately are getting creeped out from, because one of the kids at this event touches it and instantly burns his finger, like a nightmarish body horror thing.
It's like a viper from Street Trash or something.
And who's more upset about this press conference going bad than our buddy James Cameron? Tell me about this man.
Jimmy Cameron in this movie is just doing his best Murray Hamilton impression, because he's only worried about the bottom dollar, and he has a bow tie, which is ridiculous. He's basically like Murray Hamilton from Jaws meets the guy from whoever he plays in Poltergeist, and he's just like, there's one point when they realize the mummy's gone, and he's like, 2 investors dropped out, $500,000 down. And you're just like, he's so cheap, but he's so great.
Yeah, Lietta and I work at a university, and so we're just like, 500,000. Why is he upset? Are they poor?
Well, that's like 1982 money. That's like,
I know.
That's like $1 billion now or something like that.
Yeah, our campus is very big, so it's like, wow, 500K, chump change. Get out of here with that.
Wonder what their campus in California too. But 1982, I don't know anything about college money campus.
It looks like a community college to me, because I get that same architectural vibe that my community college had. So I don't know how big of a school it is.
But they got a mummy, and on top of that, there's like 2 investors there that are like this. They're like, ugh, basically I'm donating to get some mummy action. And then like he's like got all this money in there, and then the mummy falls through, and he's like, that's it. I paid for a college with a mummy. Like, who's the guy who drops out because a mummy disappeared?
What a mistake. So they can't afford handkerchiefs, because one of my favorite scenes is when the mummy's running around in this like reactor, because of course this college campus has a nuclear reactor.
Of course.
The janitor's running around. I'm sorry, but the mummy is running around. We can see through his eyes. He's got green vision. He's got green matcha powder vision, and he's floating around, because of course one of my favorite details about this is the mummy's a floater. God bless him.
I thought he had rollerblades.
Who has time for walking, right?
I thought he was like the vampire in Fright Night 2, on the roller skates, just going around campus.
He's got a skateboard on each foot. He's got 2 skateboards, which is
Money.
dangerous. Don't do that. But the janitor, he has this whole moment where he wipes his entire face with his handkerchief, and I don't know why I love that shot. That's just wonderful. I mean, his face was wiped.
Well, janitors are good at cleaning. Why not clean his own face?
Hey, it starts at home. You got to start at home.
It's got to prove it. It's like a guy who does mows lawns for a living. If he has a bad lawn, who's gonna come on, man.
Ooh, yeah. Don't advertise from your home there. So
Like a dentist with crooked teeth.
A person who's very upset about this fraternity prank of the people stealing this mummy is Captain Willoughby. Tell me about Captain Willoughby, please.
He is your stereotypical, way too old to be doing and acting like he's doing. Like, just a cop is like, "You want me to bust him up, Chief?" And then, like, throughout the whole movie, he does nothing except say like really rude remarks and accomplish absolutely nothing. And I think he's at the very end when they actually go to the mummy, and he does nothing. He just looks like a character actor who would be like, "I was like the 17th build in a John Wayne movie once."
It's Clint Young. This actor's Clint Young. He was in Switchblade Sisters, which is amazing.
That's a great movie.
That's wonderful. I haven't seen that in forever. I remember being so excited about Quentin Tarantino when I was a young person that I had to watch this movie he was talking about called Switchblade Sisters, and I did not appreciate it.
The first time I watched it too, I got like a weird import Blu-ray. I was like, that was okay. And then Arrow put it out, and I watched it the second time. I was like, this is fantastic.
I know. I need to revisit. But yeah, so Captain Willoughby, way above his station, trying to exert power he doesn't actually have. My favorite moment with him, I don't know when it happens in the movie, but he and his buddy, his other campus cop buddy, are down in the basement under the reactor, and they hear something, and they open up a cabinet. It's full of rats, and they scream and run away.
Who's afraid of rats? I'm not afraid of rats. Like, if I'm in the middle of a sewer and I'm like covered in rats, I might be scared.
Right.
Or if I see like a rat in my own house, and I'm like, God damn it. But
I'd be
if
upset.
there's just a rat in like a cabin, I'm like, it's a fucking rat.
I'm just gonna close the door and go back the other way. I'm not fearing for my life so much.
I'm just gonna see like the administrator, like, hey, there's a bunch of rats down there.
Well, let's see. Another one of my favorite moments, I don't know when this happens in the movie, is the comedy news duo. So the guy who runs the university in Willoughby, or the president of the university's stooge. I forget who that guy was, but they're watching the news. Oh my God, he's the worst.
He's a little weaselly bastard.
Dr. Blowhard. I don't even know what his name is, but
He
they're
reminds me of
freaking.
the guy from Ghoulies 2 who gets killed on the shitter, Harding or whatever. They don't call him Harding for nothing. We should have just done Ghoulies 2.
We need to name that type of character.
Weasel Bastard.
Weasel Bastards, Dr. Blowhard. I like that. Either one. Interchangeable. But yeah, they're watching the news, and these 2 reporters are goofing where they're just using all the puns they could think of to describe this kooky incident on the campus. Oh my God, I love it. I'm playing all that audio. I can't help it. It's too good.
The worst joke is literally when she's like, I'm so-and-so, and he's like, I'm so-and-so. No, I'm not. It's like, these aren't jokes anymore. These are just like, people think a joke's not a joke, and it's not.
They were completely fired after that horrible showing.
I would have fired them. They're like, we're volunteers. I'm like, well, volunteer your ass somewhere else. Get out of here.
So meanwhile, Peter, our pal, Mr. Sharp, dull guy, he's trying to do something with these crystals that he stole, not just give them to his girlfriend. What has he got? What is his big plan?
He literally is going to sell these. He tries to pawn them off, and they're worthless because apparently they're just like some sort of glass that reflects to make you time travel. That's worthless. Nobody needs that kind of crap in their life, okay? This timeline's worse enough without me jumping around. So essentially, he's told they're worthless, and he owes a bunch of people money because this guy is just legitimately like scum or something. I don't know. Because I'm calling him scum because he's literally moving one of the most precious mummies of all time, and he opens the bottom thing and he's like, what's this? I'm just gonna steal it. You're going to college, man. What are you doing? Like, and then so he sells these to his friends as gifts for their girlfriends, so the mummy can go around campus collecting these diamonds, so we can turn it into somewhat of a slasher movie. Because nothing in the 80s says we need young kids. We need young kids to be the focus. We don't want old crusty guys talking about mummies. We want some girls in the shower getting attacked by mummies. So we're trying to switch the focus to that.
We could only see so many shots from the mummy's perspective before we turn the movie off. So they have to do something out in the world, get off the campus. Oh, I know. This Peter Sharp, I call him Peter the Peeper, because when he goes to give his girlfriend one of the crystals, he's literally spying on her roommate getting dressed.
And then they get in an argument.
She's way out of his league. I'm sorry. Actually, anyone is out of this guy's league. He's just dope.
I don't remember where this part happens, but I do want to mention it because I found it very funny. When the one guy is chasing after the girl, and she's like, "We're done, we're through." And then literally like a 45-year-old, not making fun of it, I'm like 38, but this guy's like pulling up and he's like 45 years old and he's like, "Hey, it's a 2-seater." It's like, she's like leaving with grandpa over here when she's like 20. It's just so weird. Just like,
that would be funny if he was best friends with the main doctor. Like they both had this thing for like college students. Like, oh yeah, we're
just the guys from Creep Show. Fritz Weaver from Creep Show.
Perfect. So while all this is happening, the kid who got his finger burned is his whole hand is going to have to be amputated. This frickin' fungus just eats away at the bone and the flesh and everything. It's nasty. And so that's bad news for anybody who comes in contact with the mummy, who is looking for his crystals, which have been spread around campus. And the body horror in this is pretty solid. It creeps me out, where the girl is about to get x-rayed. One of the girls who gets attacked, the beautiful mummy, Uncle Ankh, accidentally grabs her throat when he takes back the necklace that has his crystal on it, and leaves this hole, this looks like gnarly looking fungus spot on her throat. And they go to x-ray it, and Dr. Mustache discovers that if you x-ray this fungus, it turns into goop and drastically increases in size, like exponentially increases in size. So there's a race against time to call the hospital to stop this x-ray. Doesn't happen in time. And this poor girl turns into a gnarly, chewed up corpse after her x-ray. It is, oh man, it's good. Love it. They tapped into one of my horrors, which is going to the hospital.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to the doctors. I just shut my brain off and go in when I have to go.
Oh my God. It's time to book those colonoscopies, everybody. And I don't mean when you turn 45. I mean daily.
Daily. You got to have it daily. You got to have good insurance, though, man. That adds up.
Now, I was hoping for all-out mayhem at this party. We have a big frat party where everybody's, because of the mummy, they're having an Egyptian-themed party with everybody goofing off, dressing as mummies, and trying to dress as Cleopatra, which leads to one of my favorite lines of the movie. One of the girls says, as Cleopatra would say, "See you later, guys," and then she walks like an Egyptian out the frickin' door.
Would Cleopatra say that, though?
See you later, guys. Of course. That's maybe, in the glyphs.
It's in the glyphs. That's written.
The
prophecy.
The moment we hinted at earlier with how strong Mr. Parker supposedly is the mummy totally backhands this guy to hell. He has he tries to give his girl, who's been stolen by the older man that you talked about. He now has this precious gem that he's going to give to some other girl, and the mummy just slaps him to hell. It just slaps him and breaks every bone in his body. It's so cute. This movie had some serious its grasp exceeding its reach stuff going on in it.
Yeah, there's not much, like, you think about it, there's not like really kills. This is more of like PG oriented movie. Like, I was watching, I was like, is this a TV movie? It's very TV vibe-ish.
Mm-hmm. The three kills are not very gory or graphic, but the body horror stuff I don't think would fly on TV. But
Not in '82. Now they would.
the so next thing is everything comes to a head when the alien finally gets all of his little crystals
Wait, he's an
in
alien?
place. Did I say alien?
What? I didn't
I'm
understand.
sorry. Oh my god. I shouldn't have read the VHS tape.
You ruined this movie for me.
Oh man, that's the ultimate bazinga. So, other than the carpeted bathroom, which I don't want to talk about because that's horrible. It should don't carpet your bathrooms, people. Go ahead and tell me what happens in this final reveal with all of when everybody meets in the the reactor room.
So there is apparently a reactor room, right? And I think it actually is something called like reactor room. It says on the door like reactor control room or something stupid like that, which is, I don't think that's how it works. But so they're all in here, and the Weasel Man has accused our good professor of hiding the mummy's body. So therefore he can find it later, and when he's ready to show it, yada, yada, yada. It's all, of course, obscure. We know because this mummy is walking around killing people. It's got all its crystals, and everybody's in the radioactive control room or whatever the hell it is. And our mummy, it activates the thing. And it basically just does Rat's Nights of Terror, or the reveal. And under the mummy mask is the cheapest, hokiest gray alien you've ever seen that is glowing. If you guys thought Juan Piquer Simone's movies got cheesy at the end, you do not know. This is cheese-tastic. And it's
God.
just like, I can imagine being up at 4 o'clock in the morning, not being able to sleep, and this coming on, and you just sitting there like this. Just your brain cells leaving your body.
Oh my God. If you've ever heard a band called The Locust, they had locust costumes that they would wear, and that's what it reminded me of. You should look up and listen to The Locust, some of their live shows with their locust costumes on. That's pretty sweet. So yeah, the professor, he tries to stop Willoughby from shooting this freaking alien. He gets shot in the arm, and then he's acting like he's dying, laying on the ground, reaching up to the alien, like begging for help or whatever he's doing. And the alien holds his hand, and here's where the movie blows my mind, because they disappear together, because, this alien's got to go back to his home world, and we get a big to be continued. We get the setup for the sequel we never got, the TV series we never got. I love it. But wouldn't it have been better if the alien just healed him and then he pieced out?
No.
And then a little bit of dialogue about, whoa, wasn't that mystical? And then credits.
No, because then Spielberg would sue him, because this is essentially just E.T.
It's true. It's
Mummy E.T. He wants to get back to his home. If he would have healed him, Spielberg would have been all over that like flies on shit. He's like, you got my James Cameron from Poltergeist that I produced, and now you got my healing alien from E.T.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in the trivia, like, this literally was supposed to be a TV movie. This was a TV movie with the hopes of becoming a series. The other trivia, which I love, I got from the interview on the disc, was the producer said that the movie was much longer, and Roger Corman said, "Oh no, I need to get this on however many reels for distribution to make it cheaper, so you got to cut it." So they cut it down from like 100 minutes to 85 or however long it is now. And supposedly the Japanese Laserdisc VHS market wanted the longer movie, so they had to recut it again just for the Japanese market to get it back up to 100 minutes.
I never even heard of the 100-minute version.
Neither have I.
I would have tracked it down and watched it. Maybe it makes more sense.
There's no way it survived. I mean, it's possible. I've watched several movies. Though. Exactly. How many movies have you watched in your lifetime with freaking Japanese subtitles at the bottom?
A lot.
So
and sometimes
many.
they're not even from Japan. You're just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You're like, this is actually a Hong Kong movie shot in Taiwan, made for the Japanese market, but it's got Korean subtitles. You're like, I don't know what's happening.
There's a little giallo called Something Creeping in the Dark, which have watched. It's an Italian film dubbed into English with Japanese subtitles at the bottom. It's just the things we do to watch all this obscure crap. I love
That's
it.
the way God intended, though.
The most shocking thing. I hope you're sitting down for this one, Dave.
I am. You want me to stand up and then sit down for a comment?
This movie was shot with a non-union crew.
Sons of bitches.
Holy shit!
It looks so professional, though.
I would have never believed that. No way, dude. Oh my god.
This is actually, it's weird because it's distributed by Corman, right?
Yep.
But the producer was the Montaro, the film Ventures International. And Montaro was the guy who basically, like in 1984, ripped off his company and stole a bunch of money and dipped. And he produced all the William Girdler movies. So, like, some people think Montaro is dead. You've heard that story, right?
Yeah. They never found him.
I think he produced this movie. I think he was involved with it. Film
God.
Film Ventures International. So we got Corman and Montaro on here.
That's amazing.
Weird, right?
Oh my god. So how do you feel about this movie? Tell me your true thoughts.
It's kind of dull and the pacing's off. I like
Okay.
James Karen though. He's one of my favorite actors.
Oh, he's great.
I just think it's really hard to make a good mummy movie. It really, really hard. I think mummies best pop up in a movie as a part that are great, but a movie solely focused on mummies, it's really hard to do a good one.
Right. I absolutely love Time Walker. This is, let's see, what did I write in my notes here? My pages have been shuffling this entire episode, folks. I'm sorry. I love the kooky characters. Everyone is just strange and has some like odd motivation. The tone is really weird because it's like a 50s movie with all the trappings, but of course it's in an 80s package. It's the slasher formula turned upside down. I love. And if you like pseudoscience and rando instruments, just like making kooky ass sounds, you're gonna love this one because man, this movie's mostly that.
Thank you, Richard Band.
Oh yeah, that's right. He
Richie Band.
did this. He did the music score. I love it. I live for this shit. I first saw this back in 2021, I think, and that I just love it so much. It's just wow.
I'd feel different if I saw it when I was young. You know what I mean? Like I had that affinity for it. Like, but I did not see this one. I remember seeing the cover. I don't know if the video store ever had this one or maybe it was somewhere else. I just don't. It never stood out. Time Walker, you're like, what the fuck is that? Because it's a mummy on the case, so you don't think it's going to be like any horror, maybe like a cheesy. And then you see PG sci-fi Time Walker, you're like, it's going to be something serious, like drama or something.
When I see that cover, I think of Starman or something.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have even imagined it was like horror either. That's good. So, I always ask whoever I'm talking to on these here showios to tell me about a recently seen and loved film. It can be an old favorite or a first-time watch that you just loved recently. What you got?
I watched a lot of movies, you know that. Last week I watched 19 movies.
Wow, nice.
Remembered 4 of them. So here we go. There's a lot. I could do a brand new movie that just came out that I liked, or I could just do something. I'll just do one that I hadn't watched in at least 10, 15 years, and the new 4K got released, so I popped it in. Trick or Treat, 1986. Rewatching it, Charles Martin Smith, and it was really enjoyable. And like, it's funny because I loved this as a kid. I liked it more now. I think it's just a lot of fun. And make sure you watch after the credits. For all those years watching that, I never watched after the credits because there's a little like stinger at the very end. It's like half a second, but it's still funny. It's still worth it.
Interesting.
Rock and roll horror movies, blast.
Oh yeah. I saw that for the first time like 5 years ago. I did not see Trick or Treat as a kid. I just mixed it up with a lot of other heavy metal horror movies, which I've seen a lot of now. But yeah, I love that. I need to get that Blu-ray because I remember how quickly they sold out of that because they kind of underestimated how bad people were waiting on that one.
Yeah, it's one of the top like 4 or 5 that you always hear about. Like, we need trick or treat, we need trick or treat.
Dude.
And there's probably a couple. I'd like to see Nightlife, to be honest, 1989 zombie movie. Like that's the
Thank
number one.
you.
And I'm like, why isn't that one? It's one I watched a couple
Thank
times
you.
growing up, and I have a sealed VHS. Refused to open it.
I wrote about that for my friend's blog. I absolutely adore that film. I saw it on cable, caught the end of it, and was totally amazed. Didn't know what it was called for years until I found it by accident because I kept seeing the actor, the kid that's in it, the redhead
Scott
kid.
Grimes.
And I finally, did the IMDb thing and tracked it down. And man, it's so good. That one, like Midnight Hour,
Midnight Hour.
I would kill for. Oh man, where is that stuff?
There's always great movies not on Blu-ray or 4K. People forget, and the Hong Kong market and stuff like that. When you look at that, there's tons and tons of them.
My favorite is when everybody has the same download, like Abby, the Black Exorcist ripoff, where everyone has the same like freaking what do you call it? Tracking lines or whatever. Yeah. Oh, Elves. Elves
is a lot of fun too. Elves is really good. That movie, I always make the joke that movie has so much smoking in it, it will give you cancer. You get secondhand smoke cancer from Elves. Everybody's just fucking Dan Haggard. He's like, I'm gonna smoke a few more because I'm an Elves.
God, I love him. He's great. I watched an actual movie that came out this year.
What?
Like the night before last, called Thelma from 2024. It is a kooky little comedy with action movie vibes. It's about a 90-ish-year-old lady whose grandson calls her from the hospital. He's in big trouble. He needs $10,000 cash mailed to this specific address to get him out of jail. And she does this, and we immediately discover, of course, that it was a scam. It was not her grandson. And so the rest of the movie is her trying to get her $10,000 back. And it is just awesome. Just a great movie. It's really fun. I'm not saying anything. Let's just say action movie tropes are there. But not the way you think they are. It's not octogenarian John Wick or anything, but dude, Thelma's fun. It's just a sweet movie you could watch with your folks.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, I think you have some questions about how this film fits. Let's hear them.
This is a simple one, just better than. You say whichever movie you prefer. You don't have to get in-depth explanation or anything. If you haven't seen it, be like, I don't know what that is. So now I was really shocked when I started going through the 80s movies. Now I knew we all know the big ones, or just know them by name. There were so many freaking classic monsters still in the early 80s. And I'm not just talking Frankensteins and Draculas and werewolves. That's expected. There was mummy movies. And I was like, why is there mummy movies every year? And from all around the world. So is Time Walker better than these 1980s mummy movies or Egyptian theme movies?
Okay.
So, is it better than The Curse of King Tutankhamun's Tomb?
I have no idea.
It's a terrible movie. It is.
I'm going to say, if you say it's terrible, it's better than.
Is Time Walker better than The Awakening with Charlton Heston?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it better than Jose Larraz's National Mummy?
Oh my God. I don't know. I want to see that now. I forgot he did that.
It's really fun.
Sweet. I'm going to write that down.
The mummy is a really tall woman, and her breasts hang out. And she seems very horny. And there's a werewolf and a Dracula in it too.
I'm there, dude.
You'll like it if you're anything like me. I'm really I was like, this is so stupid, and then I just was like 3.5 stars. I was like, this is terrible. 3.5 out of 5.
Hey, I'll watch anything Larraz does. He's wonderful.
So shocked that he did it because he's so usually not that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Dawn of the Mummy.
I'm going to say undecided because I've never watched that. I'm still waiting on that damn Blu-ray.
Me too. I haven't
because I can't see the freaking the bootlegs. I can't see what's going on.
There's an HD print floating around, but there is
Ooh, okay.
there's a German Blu-ray that's already been released, so that's floating around. But there is that UK edition that I have on pre-order from Treasured Films.
Sweet.
I think this in a nice remastered edition, because that other Blu-ray doesn't look great. I think that this might be better.
Nice.
I'm curious to see it Blu-ray because it's kind of more of a zombie movie than a mummy movie. Secret of the Mummy, the Brazilian one.
Never heard of that.
Dude, it's on crack. It's so weird. It's
Write it down.
Yeah, because I mean, I watch like 200 movies from each year, so like I'm literally like scraping the bottom and watching the weirdest shit that I can find. And there's weirder shit that I can't find.
Right.
A lot of them are really bad though. Like it's like I just want to die sometimes. Speaking of want to die sometimes, Devil Story.
Yeah, this is better than Devil Story. I'm not a fan.
I hate Devil Story.
I tried. It was overhyped for me, and it was just the repetitive soundtrack stuff, like that horse neighing.
Oh my god! So I saw Devil Story. I imported a DVD like 10, 15 years ago, and I was like, the back of it was like a serial killer, crazy, and it has that monster with a shotgun, and it's like, and mummies. I was like, this sounds awesome. On paper, I was like, best movie ever. Popped it in. I was like, 20-minute guy shooting at a horse. I was like, this fucking blows. That's horrible. And then Vinegar Syndrome's like, we're releasing Devil Story, and everyone's like, this is the best movie ever. I was like, this is objectively crap. I bought the Blu-ray again, but it's crap.
and then people are using it as a they're calling it like what is it called? It's like lo-fi something. Like there's a list floating around from Letterboxd of movies that you like get hypnotized by and like get bored by, but it's a good bored, and that's like
not a thing.
Well, I don't know. It's the most polished. I'm a fan of Oasis of the Zombies, so I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm a broken person, but I can't with some of these.
Zombie Lake ain't too bad.
Yeah, it definitely has a very specific part of women in it, featured very prominently.
Underwater butt shots.
Oh man, I feel like I know that woman, like I know her.
Good movie.
Yeah. Did you have any more?
Okay, better or worse than these 1982 horror movies. Now I didn't pick all the top ones. I picked some random from top, middle, bottom, some of the weird ones.
Ready.
So okay, Halloween 3.
No way. Not even close.
The Thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
The Thing.
Oh, sorry. Yes, this is absolutely better than The Thing. No.
Q, the Winged Serpent.
Ooh, for my entertainment value, yes. I think I would absolutely pick this over Q, but I do like that movie.
Basket Case.
No, but a lowercase no. Because like last time I watched Basket Case, I didn't enjoy it that much. I liked the second one a lot more.
I like the first two a lot. The third one's okay.
Yeah.
Living Dead Girl.
No way. Living Dead Girl. That's for me. That's way better. Yeah.
Roll on. I think it's one of his best.
Yes.
Manhattan Baby.
Ooh. Again, for my entertainment value, this is not better than Manhattan Baby.
I actually was pleasantly surprised on the rewatch Manhattan Baby. Great score. The score really pushed that forward.
Oh yeah.
Deadly Eyes.
Oh, is that the rat movie?
Of course.
That's not the
played
Peter
by dogs.
Oh, okay. That's not the Peter Weller one where he's fighting a rat.
Unknown Origin. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the George P. Cosmatos movie. Deadly Eyes is the one with Scatman Crothers.
Never seen it. I need to see that.
It's Canadian exploitation funness, based off my 20-year-old memory of it.
Nice. Okay.
Girls' Night Out.
No way. That's pure nostalgia talking. pure nostalgia. I live Girls' Night Out. The best.
It was in one of your openings of the show, and I had seen that movie, but that line would always come up in the opening where it's like, "Why don't you stick to something you know?" It's how Ulrich and his son arguing, and then when I rewatched that movie, I was like, "Oh shit!" I came up with the LOLLIPOP spells lollipop from Toolbox Murders too. When that popped up, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like it was, and the dry. This sandwich tastes dry as hell. What is that one? I watched that one and I could not remember the fucking title.
Nightmare Weekend.
Oh, that movie's terrible.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my top 10.
Is that the one with the guy from fucking Pet Sematary?
Yeah.
He's not good.
No, I put that movie's in my top 10. I tell people that I got my coworker to watch that with her fiance, and they've never trusted me since with movie recommendations.
Some guy got.
I forgot to say it's not good. I love it because it is what it is.
Isn't there a little puppet in it?
Yeah, he's the computer. He's how you interface with the. He's AI, man.
What year is that? Like 88?
I want to say it's 86. I think it's 86.
I'll definitely rewatch it for 86. It's been a long time. I also watched it with like one of my friends, both first time watching. He was just like, we're both like, who picked this? Like, you know, it's that kind of
I did for it. I did for you. I love that movie.
I also like some of the most ridiculous movies ever. So, Wacko.
You know, I have not seen Wacko. I want to.
Out of all the 80 spoofs, 82 spoofs, because there's like 4 or 5 of them this year. This is my favorite.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I am an idiot though, and George Kennedy is just a pervert, and I can't stop laughing that he's a pervert. It's like so inappropriate. He's like staring at his daughter, like
just like shit.
But there was like a 5-minute opening, and where I laughed for like 10 minutes. I was like, "This is." I watched it with a friend of mine, and we were like, "This is." And then we watched Pandemonium after, and I was like, "This."
Yeah, Pandemonium is pure nostalgia for me. It is not very funny, but I love it.
There's one great gag in there when Sidney Lassick pops up and he's like, "Dirty pillows." He starts doing the Carrie speech. I was just like, "See what you did there."
Yep.
Great director too. So I don't know what the fuck. Alfred Soule made one of like the best like horror movies in the 70s, and what's he doing?
Sometimes you just don't connect with that material.
It's on par with Clash Reunion though.
Oh God, now that I have seen.
And Hysterical.
Damn, there were a lot.
Yeah, and Dr. Jekyll together again, Hyde together again, all the same year.
Whoa. Holy shit.
None of them as good as Student Bodies from 81 though. I love
Student Bodies. Student Bodies is hilarious.
It's awesome. I think I'm good on the better than. I could go on and on, but I picked a lot of random ones. I think I've got a good mixture of like high brow, low brow, medium brow stuff.
You helped me make a list of stuff to watch, so it's perfect.
Yeah, it was fun.
I absolutely love it. I wrote down, just because I'm silly, I wrote down one movie that I think that the Time Walker or Tim Walker is better than, and I wrote down Curse of the Cannibal Confederates.
Oh fuck, way better. Man,
brutal.
Night of the Bloody. What is the first movie he did? Night of Bloody Horror or Night of Horror?
Night of Horror.
Most generic title, almost like he'd never seen a horror movie in his life. That is the worst horror movie of 81.
Yeah. I hate it.
I think so.
I hate those movies. Here's another one. Is this better or worse than The Forest?
I think it might sound par, but I think I like The Forest just
nice.
Because I like the lead actor was Gary Kent, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I think he was the killer, and I think that dude has never really got his dues, so gotta give it to him.
Nice. All right. I got 2 more. Better or worse than The Clairvoyant, aka The Killing Hour?
Killing Hour by Astranio, the guy who did Cameron's Closet. He did another one too. I can't think.
He was He Knows You're Alone.
Yeah, that one's all right.
And He's a closet. He's a closet.
That's from that one. He Knows You're Alone. Oh, I've seen that one a couple times actually. That's the one where the mad slasher kills all the bride to be's, which is kind of really nasty, to be honest. The head goes in the fish tank. A lot of severed heads in 1980.
Colleen Camp, love her.
I think I like The Killing Hour because it's so dark and gritty more.
Nice.
It's more I'm a sleazy guy, man. I like the sleazy.
yeah.
I'm not sleazy. I just like sleazy stuff.
Sure. Say that on camera. I get it. My problem with The Clairvoyant is that comedy cop. I wanna slap him. I
fucking hate that cop.
God, he's the worst. But
everyone else is so good. He's not good. Perry King is a fucking stud, and that guy's a turd.
I wish they could have just gotten someone to write his jokes that were funny instead of
like, hey, you know what appeals to I love non-traditional leads. Like if you look at something like The Boneyard, where it's like, hey, we got a middle-aged lady and an old man. Great idea for that movie. Or
Love
it's like,
that movie.
hey, I like old people as the lead. I don't like your conventional leads. But what you don't do is get a Woody Allen impersonator.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, his impersonations are just brutal. Last one, The Incubus. Better or worse than this?
Incubus technically counts as 81.
Oh, okay.
It's listed everywhere as 82 except Internet Movie Database, so I go off that one.
Oh, gotcha.
I think The Incubus is a great movie.
Okay.
Nasty ass movie though.
No,
really nasty.
Yeah. I have not revisited. I watched it when I was a kid, and it was one of those things where I hate how when I was a child, I would just watch a movie with rape scenes and just sit there like, huh, this is a scene in a movie. And now as an adult, I'm just like, no, please, not a rape scene. I can't. God, help us.
It doesn't. I don't think I'm as focused on the rape scenes when I see them in movies anymore.
Yeah.
Like when you're a kid, you're just like this. But now when they come up, you're like watching, but you're not like super. Like I don't know. I watch anything, so like I'm so used to like watching a lot of the foreign movies and just animals get killed, and I'm just like, that's awful. And I just take it to the face. But I don't know. I don't like it. And I do watch the rape scenes because I'm interested to see how they handle rape. Like when you look at something like Handy Coulter, you're like, making this a joke is worse than anything you could do, probably.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And then I Spit on Your Grave, you're like, this is horrible, and it should be horrible.
Makes you feel like your soul is scarred, you know?
Irreversible is the worst, though. That's just the worst one.
I enjoy reading about that film.
It's a great movie. It's not watch a lot. I don't think Gaspar Noé's movies are watched for repeated viewing multiple times. They're just kind of, as good as they are, they're even the other ones that aren't supposed to be unpleasant are just kind of unpleasant.
I think it was on Valentine's Day. A guitarist I follow, Nick Reinhardt, is one of my favorite guitar players. He went, I think it was on Valentine's Day, to see Irreversible play it near his. He lives in LA, and he was watching the version where they put it in order.
Yeah.
So it actually is worse than seeing it in its reverse order. So it was the reversible cut.
There's one line in that movie which makes me be like, that is so fucked up, because they're in that gay club, if you've heard of the movie, and the way they shoot it, they make it like all these sounds and this stuff that just all these like visuals and sound effects that make you sick. And when the camera's moving, you're just like, ugh. And he's looking for the rapist, and this guy is called the Tapeworm, which is a disgusting name in itself, and he's a pimp, a gay pimp in 2001, who probably is just, and he's like, they show him using drugs, so it's just like the dirtiest thing imaginable to me. This club that is just a sex club with all this stuff, and like he goes in there, and like there's like people being fisted in there, and like he grabs, and the guy who like is after his girlfriend is like a brute. He's a piece of shit too in the movie. He's like, but he's gone nuts, and he just grabs some gay guy and he starts screaming at him, and he's like, where is the so-and-so tapeworm or whatever, because he heard of his name because he's going through there. And the guy says something like, fuck me, it's safer. And I was like, And I just remember like never ever wanting, I would never go in that club like for them any amount of money. Like I don't care. It was just such a way it was shot, and just like the dirtiness and craziness and the ending and how it was just so, it's a fucked up movie.
Like
it earns its reputation.
How did he, I mean, he's got to be one of the most divisive freaking filmmakers, right?
It's like who's the other guy? You know who I'm talking about. He did like Nymphomaniac, Lars von Trier. He's
Oh
fucking
yeah,
nuts too.
brutal.
I think Gaspar Noé's probably he's a nice guy though. I think like I get the impression that Gaspar Noé's a good person.
That's good.
I don't know about Lars von Trier.
No, he's supposedly a total piece of shit.
I think he's an edgelord though. I think he just does it for like just to fuck with people. Like, you know, you got to be like, I'm at our tour. I gotta, you know what I mean? Just keep people on their toes. Whatever the fuck. Like that was cool in the 70s. Like now everybody's like, we don't care.
Yeah. But
it's
anyway.
like those. Oh yeah, sorry. What were we talking?
No,
about?
it's all right. We are allowed to tangents. I was gonna say, something about it's promo time. It's time to instead of I had a bug on me. I was killing a gnat.
I thought you were doing like the Power Rangers thing. You're like, it's morphin time.
It's Mighty Morphin time. No, it's just I was just covered in gnats because I'm dead. I died a few years ago.
Fighting bugs off guy. Now that would be a good gag in a movie that the guy's been dead for like 20 years and he's trying to he's just fighting off bugs everywhere. It's like, where are these fucking flies keep coming from?
That could be half the movie.
Just
be half
flies.
the movie.
It's called Fighting Flies.
So, tell people, all of them, how to find you on the YouTube system, the YouTube entertainment system.
Well, first you got to go in this club where
look for the tapeworm.
Ask for the tapeworm. No, I just go on YouTube, Mr. Parka, no spaces or anything like that. mrparka. It's also all the podcast places. The videos are on the podcast formats as well. So yeah, just find me on there. I review anything and everything, mostly horror and cult films, but I like everything. So yeah, check me out there.
Folks, this is a person committed to physical media. When you see the VHS wall, you'll understand immediately. It's just the way you talk about stuff is just really super engaging. Like I you're speaking our language when it comes to film collectors and stuff like that, and it's just like I was always really taken with like I felt like I was coming in the middle of something and I was like, oh, I gotta start backtracking because like I feel like I mean just 82 alone, it's gonna keep you busy. Like do you have any idea how far you are with 82?
134.
Oh my god.
And I got like 15 to 20 more of these big videos to do. And I got guests lined up for all of them, which is going to be a problem.
Awesome. Oh, well, a problem. An awesome problem.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But like you get burnt out. Like I did watch a lot of the big ones right away. So now I got like 5-6 Nikatsu erotic films, horror movies to watch and stuff like that.
Boy.
Those are short, but they're not exactly the sometimes it's not easy to watch that kind of stuff. Or like you got AI subtitles on some Brazilian horror film and you're like, I don't know, I hope this makes sense.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things is downloading a bootleg. Not that I would ever do that, but you're watching those subtitles and you're like, do I need to get a doctor in here to check me out? Because I think I know what they're saying, but that was one of the things. When I was doing Giallo Meltdown 2, I had a whole folder of movies I downloaded off of YouTube to cover, and all I had was those subtitles, the automatically generated subtitles.
Yeah.
I ended up watching none of them. I cut them all. I was like, no, this doesn't need to be in the book. I'm out of frustration. I'll just try to learn the language, which will take me the rest of my life.
It gets rough. Like I watched, what is it, for 81, I watched this movie like Yarshish or something, The Evil One. Okay. Which was a Thailand movie, and I wanted to see it because I seen it on the bootleg circuits for a while, and I was like, I only seen like 1, maybe 2 Thailand horror movies, and I watched like 222 from 81, so I was like, I'm gonna watch this fucking thing, and it's long, and it was really fucking weird, and there's always a lot of comedy that doesn't really mesh well in those movies, a lot of the Asian countries, so I'm just like, I watched it, the subtitles were AI generated, but I got the gist of it, but there's a lot of folklore and weird shit, but I was like, I'm glad I watched it because there was one scene in that movie where I just, like, my jaw hit the ground, where it's like, literally like they throw like the lady gives birth and all the women that are in this hole with her, like, rip the baby to pieces and eat it, and I was like, but it's not like super graphic or they rip all the women's eyes out at one point. I'm like, but at like points, there's like people shrinking and growing and like, like goofy humor, and you're like, weird as fuck, man.
Wow.
recommend it.
Hey.
Not really, but it kind of is.
I'm not saying don't watch it.
I just say watch at your own risk.
Nice.
Appreciate you having me on the show, though, too.
Man, no, I'm glad you had time to head on over to the Doom Show. You're always a pleasure to see your face, even though this will be audio.
You saw my face, though. They know that you saw my face, and they can hear your enjoyment in your voice about my face.
Smiling with my eyes and my mouth this time. The tapeworm.
The tapeworm. How about his name's not even the tapeworm, and I just fucked it up? Somebody's like, you idiot. It's not the tapeworm.
He's just call him TP from Mad Men.
Which one's T? Oh, that asshole guy, right?
Yeah, the hot tub guy.
Doesn't he get hung? Doesn't he get hanged?
He
Hanged or
does.
hung? He
gets hunged.
Hunged. Well, I think we're going to do my closing for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything you want to plug?
Yes, absolutely. I do a podcast called Hello, This is the Doom Show. I'm on legionpodcasts.com. You can find us there. Or just go to YouTube. All the episodes are on YouTube, I think. Doomedmoviethon.com is my site, where you can find all of the moviethons and links. Links to my books. I've written a few self-published books about movies. Doomed Moviethon, the book, Cinema Somnambulist, and then Giallo Meltdown 1 and 2. And those are my books that just my experience of delving into these freaking movies. I'm a fan. I'm absolutely not a film scholar, as evidenced by the last hour and a half or so you've listened to of me shuffling papers. Yeah.
I got my papers, too. One thing says Space Mummy E.T.
Space Mummy E.T. Mine says carpeted bathroom, and which I mentioned.
Ugh, they're gross.
But yeah, that's all my stuff. I really appreciate you having me on the show, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you. I love the show. It's really funny, and the way you edit it's great too. Just good stuff, man. I enjoy it quite a bit. You got a good sense of humor that's not like anyone else's sense of humor.
Thank you.
Shoot it! The crystal! No!
Thanks to McCadden, we are in deep trouble. 2 of our donors have withdrawn their bequests. $500,000 out the window. Oh.
Maybe there's a way of turning this whole thing around.
How, Bruce? How?
What if he stole the mummy?
Huh?